opponent or a person who can look to a long-term development of Ghana, because he will return to you after 4 years to render an account for the long term. It is Dr. Bawumia. Who in mind is someone you can trust to work tirelessly and selflessly for Ghana. Then it is Dr. Bawumia. With a proven record, who you can trust to create jobs for the youth, then it is Dr. Bawumia.
My policies will encourage the private sector to take greater responsibility in the provision and management of critical infrastructure, including building hostels, housing, and schools for government to rent or lease to own. The demand for roads construction is massive, and this has historically placed a huge burden on the budget. I will make it more attractive for the private sector to also finance construction, management, and maintenance of roads through PPP concessions. Also, I want to change our procurement culture drastically to tackle waste and corruption. My government will move towards leasing rather than outright purchase of goods such as vehicles, printing equipment, and so on. The private sector will have the responsibility for the maintenance of the equipment. With this approach, the budget can save very significant amounts in outright cash expenditure annually from various items across different ministries, departments, and agencies. The policy will energize the private sector to invest in their expansion and create many jobs. Enhancing the role of the private sector, along with fiscal and administrative decentralization, improving our systems, and the way your institutions function will lead to greater efficiency, cutting waste, and ensuring value for money in procurement. The move towards the private sector provision of many public services would create the fiscal space of at least 3% of GDP annually. That is 30 billion Ghana cedis annually. This represents a major paradigm shift. Additionally, an efficient system of governance will require even fewer ministers. Therefore, I will have no more than 50 ministers. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to our tax system. To increase government tax revenue, we have to reform and refocus the Ghana Revenue Authority towards broadening the tax base. Estimates suggest revenues amounting to 13% of GDP, or some 150 billion Ghana cedis in 2023, are not collected because people are outside the tax net. Many individuals, businesses find our tax system cumbersome and confusing. We want a tax system that is easy to understand, easy to comply with, and easy to enforce, softer on the taxpayer, and that is not subject to so much discretion. The next MPP government will introduce a very simple, citizen-friendly and business-friendly flat tax system. This will be the first change in our tax system since independence. No government has thought about changing the taxes, but it is the NPP part that is saying it is time for a change in the tax system. A flat tax system, a flat tax will be of a percentage of income for individuals and businesses with appropriate exemption thresholds set to protect the poor. With the new tax regime, the tax return should be able to be completed in minutes. We will also simplify our complicated corporate tax system and VAT regime. We will reform the VAT tax regime by merging all levies into a single line item levy and treat the merged levy as part of input and output VAT to eliminate the cascading effect in the current regime. To start the new tax system on a clean slate, my government will provide a tax amnesty, that is a complete exemption from the payment of taxes and the waiving of associated interest and penalties up to a certain year to individuals and businesses for failures to file taxes in previous years, so that everyone will start afresh on a clean slate. In return, my government will expect the beneficiary of this most significant guest and such savings to be directly used in creating jobs. Our ultimate goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to move Ghana to a lower tax regime with broader coverage to stimulate greater economic activity and generate more revenue to the state. For this to succeed, tax digitalization will be implemented across all aspects of the tax administration. Everyone will be required to file tax, a very simple tax return, electronically through their mobile phone or a computer. There will be no manual or paper filing of taxes anymore. Faceless assessments will provide transparency and accountability. There will be no need under this new tax regime. There will be no need for GRA to send officers to sit in shops, to close shops. E-invoicing as being implemented by GRA will also be extended. I now come to support for business. Ladies and gentlemen, my government will be for business because true to our philosophy, I believe the business of government is to empower business to deliver for society. We will therefore support the growth of businesses by the following policies. We will incentivize Ghanaian startups in selected strategic sectors with investment tax credits for the first 3 years of their operations. A flat rate system of duties for all imports will be implemented, bringing predictability and stability on prices of imported goods. We will harmonize port charges to align with the charges in competing regional ports, particularly Togo. Duties in our ports will not be higher than the duties in Lomé, Togo. Ladies and gentlemen, very important, we will use the government's purchasing power to stimulate industrial expansion and business growth. This will help create jobs by rolling out a Buy Ghana First policy, under which all goods and services procured by the public sector will first be filled by goods and services produced locally. And we will back this by legislation. We will implement a shift in electricity tariffs to a regime in which commercial rates are either equal to or lower than residential rates, never higher, to power our industry and business. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to establish an SME bank to meet the special financing needs of small, medium, and small-scale medium enterprises, which will employ over 80% of our youth. We will also complete the digitalization of land titling and registration to allow owners of landed properties to use their properties as collateral to raise capital for their business growth and expansion. We will create special economic zones in collaboration with the private sector at Ghana's major border towns such as Aflao, Ada, and Elubu to enhance economic activity, increase exports, reduce smuggling, and create jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to the cost of living, reducing the cost of living. Another major priority of my government will be to reduce the cost of living. The world is facing what is commonly referred to as the global cost of living crisis. Even though the inflation has dropped by half this year, prices remain high. I want a Ghana where we can attain food security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large-scale farming. We will also promote the use of agricultural lime to reduce the acidity of our soil, enhance soil fertility, and get more yield from the application of fertilizer. Ghana has an abundance of limestone to do this. I will prioritize the construction of the portable dam by using the private sector financing to brownfield from finance. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also ensure food security by stabilizing the prices of food produced locally through financing and guarantees from the Development Bank Ghana and the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, also known as ESA. This will mainly involve upscaling the production of staple foods, investing in the preservation of staple foods, meat, poultry, and fish products, and establishing agricultural anchors which will have irrigation, processing, and storage facilities in each region for crops or grains in which the regions have a comparative advantage. We will reduce the cost of transportation by promoting and supporting electric vehicles for public transportation. By the grace of God, I hope the first 100 buses that we will be introducing for public transportation will hopefully, inshallah, arrive before the end of December this year. We are also going to expand the goal for oil program to continue stabilizing the price of food. stabilizing the price of spare parts through the flat rate duties for all importers policy, which will bring predictability and stability on prices of imported goods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to make your driver's license valid for 10 years and extend the renewal period to 5 years. Under a housing for all policy, I will also have a major focus on the provision of public housing in the same manner that Singapore did. We will partner with the private sector to build large housing estates without the government having to borrow or spend. Also, the National Rental Assistance Scheme, which has worked so well with thousands of beneficiaries, will be enhanced to deal with the problem of the demand of rent advance of 2 years or more. We will also ensure a variety of accommodation types to meet different pockets and needs of us voters. In social housing, we included homeless shelters, overnight stay for the vulnerable, and expanded rental assistance schemes for low-income workers. The area of affordable housing will be including district housing projects through incentives to the private sector, real estate industry, as well as expanding the services of the revived State Housing Company and the Tenant Development Corporation and the National Home Ownership Fund, and improving housing finance through an expansion of the mortgage lending market as well as rent-to-own schemes. Ladies and gentlemen, we will use a variety of ways to deliver access to the various types of accommodation. For example, social housing, we will provide public lands within our main cities to private developers, and in order to benefit, make it mandatory for them to set aside between 20 and 30% for low-income social
housing units with subsidized rent. Significantly, ladies and gentlemen, improving the availability and affordability of power. We will do this by bringing on board 2,000 megawatts of solar power and incentivizing users by buying access to power they generate from their solar systems and paying with free electricity from the national grid when they need power through net metering. We will continue to make accessing services easy. For example, once you have a Ghana card, all public organizations will not be required to collect your basic data. They won't have all that data. They don't need you to fill any form because all of it is on your Ghana card. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to build a Ghana where we leverage technology, data, and systems for inclusive economic growth. I want to build a Ghana into a world-class digital economy. I want to build a Ghana where we apply digital technology, STEM, robotics, and artificial intelligence for the transformation of agriculture, healthcare, education, manufacturing, fintech, and public services delivery. As part of this process, it is my goal to eliminate the digital divide by achieving over 90% internet penetration within the first 4 years of office. We have already made very significant progress in this direction by increasing internet penetration from 34% in 2016 to to some 70% by 2023. And that task in the next 4 years is to move from 70% to over 90% as exists in the advanced countries. It is possible. I am determined to not let Ghana miss out on the fourth industrial revolution, as our continent did on the industrial revolution some centuries back. I want to see Ghana build the digital talent we require for the fourth industrial revolution. This will mean providing digital software skills to hundreds of thousands of youth. This, along with other priorities, will create jobs for the youth, including school dropouts. In collaboration with the private sector, we will train at least 1 million youth in IT skills, including software development, to provide job opportunities worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, generally, there will be an enhanced focus on technical and vocational education. My government will also support the establishment of a national open university, Ghana, in collaboration with the private sector, and it will focus on ICT, TVET, and STEM. Ladies and gentlemen, to prepare our children for the fourth industrial revolution, I will enhance the position of the educational system towards STEM, robotics, artificial intelligence, and vocational skills to cope with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution and job creation. My government will make coding and robotics standard in senior high school. Furthermore, to become a digital hub in Africa, Ghana's telecoms industry needs more investment. The cost of data for the ordinary Ghanaian has become too expensive. It goes against the very ethos of our digitalization journey. We commit to working actively with industry players in setting clear policy guidelines that will remove any investor uncertainty and difficulties in business planning, including the expeditious allocation of spectrum, driven more by the goal of enhancing digital inclusion. In addition, we will be working with educational institutions, leading and global tech firms to establish a national robotics, engineering, and AI lab for research and training of young Ghanaians locally. We will also be providing venture capital funding and grant support for commercially viable tech projects by Ghanaian startups to drive innovation, foster high-tech entrepreneurship, create jobs, and support growth of Ghanaian high-tech business. We will also be providing live lab opportunities to Ghanaian tech startups under a matching program by purposely connecting them to mature large tech firms working on government tech projects to help startups test their ideas in real-world environments and to accelerate their product development cycle. We will also be working with the Bank of Ghana to significantly expand our regulatory sandbox to admit more fintechs as well as regional fintechs. This will position Ghana as a multi-regulatory, multi-jurisdictional sandbox for financial payments interoperability. We will also be establishing a fintech fund with a seed capital of $100 million US. That is about 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. to attract additional private sector funding and to support Ghanaian startups, developing payments and financial services solutions, especially focused on region-wide explorable solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also be implementing a digital residency, that is e-residency, for businesses and individuals in tech firms to register and operate within Ghana. We are also going to be implementing a 5-year digital nomad visa and work permit to attract global tech talent to domicile and work from Ghana, appointing also, ladies and gentlemen, a digital ambassador whose role will be to develop new external markets for Ghanaian digital talent and products and facilitate the export of our digital services. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll also be implementing comprehensive data interoperability across government platforms to enhance transparency and streamline services. We will be pushing further Ghana's leadership, led by my boss, Ghana's leadership role in achieving cross-border mobile money interoperability among other payment systems within the AFCFTA to enhance buying and selling within Africa's 1.4 billion consumer market. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also be creating a marketplace to streamline public sector procurement. As a result of the increase in fiscal space from the tax and expenditure measures we are going to undertake, we will be in a position to enhance the digital economy by abolishing the E-levy as well as taxes on mobile phones. We are also going to ensure in this digital economy that we are building that the Ghana card will not be required, that for any person who holds a Ghana card, you will not be required to fill a form to get a passport. You will just be required to pay your fee because all the information is on the Ghana card. Ladies and gentlemen, working with industry players, we intend to make Ghana a world-class digital economy and a digital hub of Africa. I now come to our natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, as president, the next MPP government will usher Ghana into a golden age for the maximization of the benefits of our natural resources like gold, lithium, bauxite, and so on. The key to doing this is value addition and Ghanaian ownership. As we have started with lithium, we need a new paradigm in a natural resource contract that sees more of the benefit accruing to Ghana. Some of the key policies that we will implement to maximize our benefits from our natural resources include formalizing and regularizing and regulating environmentally sustainable small-scale mining. Our goal would be to help grow the small-scale mining companies into large-scale mining companies with the capacity building and assisting them to access financing to acquire equipment. In line with this, we will license all miners doing responsible mining. District mining committees, including our chiefs, will provide initial temporary licenses to the miners. Every Ghanaian in small-scale mining will register under the Ghana Small-Scale Miners Association with their Ghana card. We will, in collaboration with the large mining companies, convert abandoned shafts into community mining schemes. We will also open new community mining schemes, and district mining communities would be responsible for reclamation and replanting. We will also set up state-of-the-art common user gold processing units in mining districts in collaboration with the private sector. We will also conduct an audit of all concessions with various licenses and new applications. This will allow government to know licenses that have expired and non-compliance with the existing license conditions, non-compliance. My government will establish, in collaboration with the private sector, a minerals development bank to support the mining industry. The government will also reduce the minerals export tax to 1% to discourage smuggling and encourage more production. We will establish, through the private sector, a London Bullion Market Association certified gold refinery in Ghana within the next 4 years. Following the establishment of this refinery, all the responsibly mined gold in Ghana produced by the small-scale sector will be sold either to the central bank, PMMC, or MIF. We will make available proven reserves data from the Geological Survey Authority to small-scale miners to help deal with the associated problem of trial and error digging for gold, which destroys our environment. Once the data is available, the small-scale miners will know exactly where the gold is, and so they don't have to do trial and error. They will go directly to where the gold is, and the environment will not be destroyed. We will also adequately resource the Geological Survey Authority to undertake the mapping exercise. We will also scale up the use of mercury-free gold catcher machine technology, which is less damaging to our environment. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to an important subject matter of stabilizing our currency. Ladies and gentlemen, recognizing the need to transform the structures of the Ghanaian economy from merely being an exporter of raw materials and importer of finished products to producing what we consume and adding value to our raw materials and farm produce. The Akufo-Addo-led government set out in 2017 to find solutions by introducing transformational policies such as one district, one factory. While industrialization remains the long-term solution to macroeconomic stability and shared prosperity for Ghanaians, the vulnerabilities in the structure of the Ghanaian economy remain and were heavily exposed by the global crisis of 2020 to 2022. The crisis hit us really hard, but you may wonder why, unlike previous times when the city faced severe pressure, this time around we have never experienced queues at our fuel stations or doom so as we did in 2015. Let me tell you a short story about that. I approached my boss when we had this crisis, as I saw our foreign exchange reserves continually dwindling. I approached my boss and suggested a novel way as a solution to the shortage of foreign exchange. I proposed that we leverage on gold to produce directly in exchange for the essential goods we import. He gave me the go-ahead to put the Ghana card, Agenda 111, e-pharmacy, Ghana.gov, one constituency, one ambulance, Zongo Development Fund, paperless box, motor insurance, database, renewal of NHIS on your mobile phone, Ghana card number as your TIN number, SNAP number, NHIS number, zip line, delivery for drones, gold for oil, gold purchase program, and so on, and so on, and so on. Through the successful implementation of these policies, I have proven to be a problem solver and a promise keeper. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the choice Ghanaians face in 2024 fundamental is a choice between a brighter future and a bleak past. As I noted in my presentation at UPSA in February, we have to ask ourselves a number of questions in making that choice. If you want someone you can trust to come up with innovative and impactful ideas to transform Ghana, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you want someone with personal integrity who can be trusted to fight corruption, then your choice is Dr. Bawumia. And if the person you have in mind is someone you can trust to work tirelessly and selflessly for Ghana, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you want a leader with a proven record who you can trust to create jobs for the youth, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you are looking for the man who has the vision and the commitment to prepare Ghana for the fourth industrial revolution, the digital revolution, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you are looking for the man who is more committed to protecting and using the natural resources for the benefit of Ghanaians, then the answer is Dr. Bawumia. Who will be more accountable to Ghanaians? A one-term president like my opponent, or a person who can look to a long-term development of Ghana, because he will return to you after 4 years to render an account for the long term? It is Dr. Bawumia. Who can you trust? Who can you trust to protect free senior high school education? The answer is Dr. Bawumia. Who has demonstrated to the development, who has demonstrated a commitment to the development of deprived communities like our inner city communities and the Zongo community? It is Dr. Bawumia. Who can you trust? Who can you trust to provide bold solutions to improve our economy, create jobs, and improve social protection? It is Dr. Bawumia. Ladies and gentlemen, I am determined to make a difference, a positive difference. I am determined to use the experience I have earned over the last 7 to 8 years from the challenges and the priorities we have tackled, from the successes we have chalked to the hard work to succeed with you on the priorities that I have laid before you today. I will work for you, with honesty and integrity, with wisdom and decisiveness. I have clarity of mind as to what I want to do from day one as president. I will not ask you for a honeymoon to cool off and think about what to do with the responsibility you give me. I am prepared and ready to serve. You know what I stand for. You know my vision. I believe in the ingenuity of the Ghanaian. Together we can succeed in building a progressive society of possibility, enterprise, compassion, open opportunities, and shared prosperity for every Ghanaian, born rich or poor, born in the north or the south, born Christian or Muslim, born a girl or a boy, or a disabled person. I have never been president of Ghana before. I am presenting myself to you for the first time to ask for your precious vote to serve you as your president and to continue the development agenda of the NPP. When you make me president, inshallah, I will implement my own vision that I have outlined. In all humility, I will ask you to give me the opportunity to become one of the most impactful presidents in Ghana's history. In conclusion, dear Ghanaians, what I have presented today are just highlights of our manifesto. There are many more details and policies that are found in the full version. I implore you and entreat you all to read the full manifesto. This manifesto we are launching today is a manifesto of hope, a manifesto anchored on bold solutions to usher in the golden age of good governance and accountability, and a manifesto of possibility, focusing on quantum leaps in jobs and prosperity. Our positive mindset is built on a strong track record of innovations and achievements. Unlike our friends who regard every life-changing policy proposal as impossible, we in the NPP see possibilities. We innovate, deliver, and prosper. I mean to deliver for you and your family, for your future, for your business. Indeed, Bawumia means